Outlander fans, brace yourselves, the end is near. After 8 seasons, countless twists, and a love story that defied time, Jamie and Claire are about to face their final chapter. But just when we thought we had seen it all, Season 8 is set to pull the rug from under us in ways we never expected. Will their story end in peace, or will the past come crashing down on them one last time? This isn't just another season finale. It's the heart-wrenching goodbye that will leave us all questioning everything we thought we knew. So, let's dive into the emotional roller coaster that is Outlander Season 8, where every moment counts, every character's fate hangs in the balance, and nothing is as it seems. Outlander has always been a series that kept us on the edge of our seats. But as we step into the final season, the stakes have never been higher. Season 7 left us with more questions than answers, with moments of hope shattered by heartbreak, and characters pushed to their limits. If you thought the end of Season 7 was intense, just wait until you see what's in store. The emotional turmoil, the suspense, and the inevitable goodbyes will keep you guessing right until the very last frame. The idea that we're about to say goodbye to Jamie and Claire has always felt impossible. It seems like only yesterday we were introduced to these two characters who, despite the odds, found a love so powerful it transcended time itself. The show has always been about more than just time travel. It's about survival, love, sacrifice, and the relentless passage of time. But as we approach the end of their journey, we're reminded that even the most eternal of loves must eventually face its reckoning. Jamie and Claire have faced war, loss, and unimaginable pain. They've lost family, battled enemies, and struggled to find their place in the ever-changing world around them. And now, in the final season, we're about to see how they come to terms with the toll that these years have taken on them. Will they get the happy ending we've been hoping for? Or will the past continue to haunt them, leaving them with nothing but memories of what once was? The emotional tension that has been building over the years will come to a head in this final chapter. The bonds of family will be tested like never before. The pain of losing loved ones, both in the past and present, will weigh heavily on Jamie and Claire's hearts, and with the American Revolutionary War raging around them, every decision they make could be their last. Every moment of peace they find will be fleeting. But it's not just about Jamie and Claire. The supporting characters who have been by their side through thick and thin will also be facing their own challenges. Lord John Grey, young Ian Fergus, and the rest of the Fraser family are all on the precipice of change. Some will find redemption, others will find heartbreak, and some will face fates they never saw coming. But one thing is certain, no one will walk away unscathed. As we watch these characters face their final battles, both personal and external, we can't help but reflect on how far we've come. We've witnessed their triumphs and their struggles. And now, in these final episodes, we'll see how they reconcile their past with their future. But here's the real question. Will Claire and Jamie's love survive the ultimate test? Or will the weight of everything they've been through finally tear them apart? As the world around them shifts, they must decide if their bond is strong enough to withstand the final storm. And in doing so, we'll discover if love really can conquer, or if even the deepest love can fade with time. The final season of Outlander isn't just about saying goodbye to beloved characters. It's about uncovering long-hidden secrets that could change the course of everything we thought we knew. As we saw in Season 7, just when things seemed to calm down, Outlander reminded us that the past is never truly gone. It's always waiting to resurface, and when it does, it often hits harder than we can imagine. One of the most gut-wrenching revelations to come out of Season 7 was the unexpected return of a piece of Claire and Jamie's past they thought was long buried. Their daughter Faith, the lullaby that echoed through time at the end of the season. The very lullaby Claire used to sing to Faith was a powerful moment that had us questioning everything. Could it be true? Could their daughter have survived after all these years? And if so, why has no one told them until now? The mere possibility that Faith is alive has sent shockwaves through the Outlander universe. And it's a question that will undoubtedly drive much of the emotional weight of the final season. But the twists don't stop there. We can't ignore the dream Claire had while she was bedridden, a dream that brought Master Raymond, the mysterious, almost otherworldly healer, back into the picture. Over the years, Master Raymond has been an enigma, a character who seemed to exist somewhere between the realms of the living and the supernatural. His return isn't just a coincidence. It's a signal that something far bigger is at play. Claire's dream, where Raymond appears to her and offers an apology, could hold the key to understanding what happened to Faith. Is Master Raymond somehow involved in her survival? Did he fake her death all those years ago to protect her? The way Outlander has woven time and fate together, it's not surprising that such an important part of their past could resurface at the most unexpected time. Season 8 is about to take us on a journey into the heart of these mysteries, forcing us to confront the idea that nothing, not even death, is as it seems in the Outlander universe. And as Claire and Jamie begin to unravel these threads, we'll find ourselves questioning every choice the characters have made, every turn of fate that has led them to this point. But these twists aren't just about Faith or Master Raymond. There's a much larger question at play. What happens when the past, with all its pain and regrets, comes rushing back just as you're trying to find peace? Can Jamie and Claire truly move forward with their lives when they're faced with the ghosts of their pasts? Will they be able to face these revelations head-on, or will they be torn apart by the weight of all they've lost? As we journey with them into this final season, we can't help but feel the immense tension that's building. Every choice they make, every person they encounter, could either bring them closer to a resolution or push them further into the chaos that has always surrounded them. And with the stakes higher than ever, every revelation will hit harder than the last. This season isn't just about the love story we've all rooted for. It's about finding closure in a world where nothing is ever truly finished. It's about confronting the past, accepting the things we cannot change, and finally allowing the characters we've followed for so long to find peace or face the consequences of their actions. And as the clock ticks down to the final moments of the series, the one thing we can be sure of is this: the road ahead will be as unpredictable as it is heartbreaking. As we approach the final season of Outlander, the characters are not just battling their inner demons. They're once again caught in the chaos of a world that's constantly shifting under their feet. The American Revolutionary War rages on, and with it comes the fierce and inevitable confrontation between loyalties, betrayals, and the cost of survival. Season 8 is primed to explore the high stakes of both personal and political warfare, setting the stage for the ultimate test of not just Jamie and Claire's love, but also the relationships that have defined their journey. When we last left off, Jamie was not only battling the war, but also the emotional toll of losing so much. He had to pick up arms again, even after everything he had sacrificed, risking everything for a cause he wasn't entirely sure he believed in. His relationship with Lord John Grey, once a source of support, had been fractured beyond repair after Lord John married Claire, believing Jamie to be dead. The betrayal was so profound that even the strongest of bonds may never recover from it. But despite the betrayal, the ghosts of their past are impossible to ignore, and it's clear that both Jamie and Lord John will have to face the consequences of their actions. For Lord John, the emotional weight of his decision could lead him down a dark and difficult path, one where redemption may only come through the ultimate sacrifice. Rumors have been swirling that Lord John might need to sacrifice his life for Jamie's. And though the thought is heart-wrenching, it's also deeply poetic. After all, how can you repay a betrayal that deep? How do you go from being the one who betrayed to being the one who redeems? And more importantly, how will Jamie, who has already lost so much, cope with the loss of yet another person who has been a constant in his life? This season isn't just about loyalty to country or cause. It's about loyalty to the people who have been there through the darkest of times, and about finding a way to heal those wounds, if healing is even possible. Every action these characters take feels like it could be their last, and the weight of history hangs over them, pushing them toward decisions that will resonate long after the final credits roll. But let's not forget that the battlefield isn't only physical. For Claire, the emotional battlefield is just as real as the one on the front lines. As she fights to protect those she loves, she must also contend with the inner turmoil that has followed her since the very beginning. The trials she endured, her constant fear of losing Jamie, and the horrors of the past, all of these have shaped who Claire has become. And now, in these final moments, they will come to a head. The question is, can she ever truly escape the trauma that has marked her life, or will it define her to the very end? Meanwhile, we're also reminded of the characters who have stood by their side through thick and thin. Young Ian, Fergus, and Marsali, all of whom have carried their own burdens and struggles. For Ian, the conflict between duty and love will continue to weigh heavily on him, especially as he faces the harsh realities of the war. Fergus and Marsali, too, are grappling with their own challenges, and their storylines will undoubtedly intersect with the larger conflict, adding even more layers to the finale. As the stakes rise, the tension between the personal and the political becomes more intense. We'll watch as the Frasers navigate a world that's shifting beneath their feet, where loyalty is constantly tested and survival is never guaranteed. With the fate of their loved ones hanging in the balance, there's no telling how far Jamie and Claire will go to protect those they hold dear. But amidst the chaos of war and betrayal, there will be moments of quiet, of reflection, of hope. The Frasers have always been fighters both in the battlefield and in their hearts. They've faced unimaginable pain, but they've never given up. And it's that unwavering strength that we'll see in full force in this final season. Whether they find redemption, peace, or simply the ability to hold on to each other one last time, the Frasers will go out in a way that honors everything they've been through. As the final battle looms on the horizon, the only certainty is that Outlander will leave us with a finale that is as epic, emotional, and unforgettable as the journey that came before it. If there's one constant in Outlander, it's the heart-wrenching reality that time moves on, even when we're not ready to let go. Jamie and Claire's love has spanned centuries, with each season testing the limits of their devotion. But as the final chapter of their story unfolds, the question we've all been asking looms larger than ever. Can their love truly survive everything they've been through? And perhaps more importantly, can it survive the end of their journey? Throughout the years, we've watched as their love faced insurmountable odds. From the very first moment they met, they've been tested by time, war, loss, and betrayal. They've been separated by impossible distances, torn apart by the forces of fate, and yet, time and time again, they've found their way back to each other. But as we approach the final season, we're reminded that even the most powerful love stories must eventually come to an end. And this time, the end might not be something they can fight against. What makes their love so special is the way it has evolved over time. It's not just the passionate romance that brought them together, but the deep, unwavering partnership they've forged through every trial they've faced. Claire's strength, her intelligence, and her ability to heal have always complemented Jamie's raw courage and loyalty. Together, they've built a life, a family, and a legacy that has transcended time itself. But as the years have passed, the toll of their journey has become more evident. The physical scars, the emotional wounds, and the weight of all they've lost each moment adds up. And it's clear that the end of their story will be shaped by everything they've been through. But will their love be enough to carry them through the final test? Or will the passage of time, with all its heartache and uncertainty, finally break them apart? Season 8 will push them to the limits of their endurance, both as individuals and as a couple. As they confront the horrors of war, the ghosts of their past, and the inevitable reality of growing older, they must also come to terms with the fact that their time together is finite. And in doing so, they'll be forced to confront the ultimate question: is love enough to overcome the inevitability of death? In many ways, their journey has always been about survival, not just of the body, but of the heart and the soul. And in this final season, we'll see them struggling not only to survive, but to find meaning in the time they have left. The passage of time has been a central theme of Outlander from the very beginning, and now, as the series draws to a close, we're forced to face the reality that even time itself can't hold them together forever. The final moments of their story will be a bittersweet reflection on everything they've lost, and everything they've fought to preserve. But even as Jamie and Claire wrestle with the passage of time, their love remains a beacon of hope, reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is something worth fighting for. As they face their final days together, we'll witness the kind of love that's built not on perfection, but on resilience. It's a love that endures not because it's easy, but because it's worth every sacrifice, every tear, every moment of pain. And as we prepare to say goodbye to these characters, we'll also be reminded of the profound truth that Outlander has taught us time and time again, that love, in all its forms, is worth every bit of the heartache it brings. Even when it feels like we're losing everything, love is the one thing that can never truly be taken away. It's the one thing that stays with us long after the final curtain falls. As we approach the final moments of Outlander, it's impossible not to reflect on the immense legacy this show has built over the years. For 8 seasons, we've followed Jamie and Claire through trials, triumphs, and heartache. And as their journey comes to a close, we can't help but wonder what happens next. The truth is, even though Outlander is wrapping up, its impact on both the characters and the audience will echo long after the screen fades to black. This is not just the end of a story, it's the end of an era, one that will live on in our hearts long after we say goodbye. But even in the face of goodbye, Outlander is determined to leave us with more than just tears and nostalgia. We've been promised a finale that, while heartbreaking, will also be incredibly satisfying, one that ties up loose ends and gives these beloved characters the farewell they truly deserve. Yet, the question lingers. How do you give closure to a story that has defied time, logic, and the very concept of endings? The creators have worked tirelessly to ensure that the series will close in a way that feels both fulfilling and true to the journey we've all taken together. And while we may not get all the answers, one thing is certain: the Frasers will leave us with a legacy that's more than just a love story. They've shown us what it means to endure, to fight for what's right, and to hold on to love even when the world seems determined to tear it apart. As we say goodbye to Jamie, Claire, and the rest of the characters, we're also saying goodbye to the world that they've inhabited. The world of Outlander, with its complex history, emotional depth, and timeless love, has been something truly special. And while the Frasers' journey may be ending, the impact of their story will continue to resonate through the lives of everyone who's been touched by their struggles and triumphs. But what comes next for the world of Outlander? If you're looking for a way to hold on to this universe just a little longer, there's good news. While the series may be coming to an end, Outlander's story doesn't end here. Fans of the show can look forward to the prequel series, Blood of My Blood, which will dive into the history of Jamie and Claire's parents, exploring the foundations of the epic love story that we've followed for so long. Set in the 17th century and during World War I, Blood of My Blood will introduce new characters, but also revisit old ones, giving us a glimpse into the lives of those who came before Jamie and Claire, and perhaps offering clues to how their story came to be. The Frasers' world is far from over, and while we may not have Jamie and Claire at the center, their legacy will continue to shape the world we know. But beyond the spin-offs and prequels, there's something deeper here. Out has always been about more than just the journey of two characters through time. It's been about the human experience, the trials and joys of life, the ways in which we find love, and the paths we take to define our place in the world. The themes of family, sacrifice, and resilience have resonated deeply with viewers, making Outlander more than just a show. It's become a cultural touchstone for millions. And as we say goodbye to the Frasers, we're left with an enduring legacy that will continue to inspire, uplift, and remind us of the power of love, no matter the time or distance. So, as we sit on the edge of our seats, waiting for the final episodes to drop, we can take solace in the fact that the Outlander story will always live on, whether in the prequel series, in the books, or in the hearts of fans worldwide. The love and spirit of the Frasers will never truly be gone. Their journey may be coming to an end, but the love they've shared will always remain etched in time for all who've watched, lived, and loved alongside them. And as the final credits roll, we'll all be left with one last bittersweet thought. Outlander may have started with a leap through time, but it will end with a timeless love that will never fade away.